Thanksgiving is a time to appreciate what you have and what you've been given. Gaming is no exception, and that's why we need to not only be thankful for the PSVR, but the games that help us remember why it's so special. Here are 5 games I think that you should be thankful for this Thanksgiving. To the Top is just delightful in every way. Clever level design, unique gameplay, outstanding music, the existence of both a single and multiplayer campaign, high levels of immersion, perfect difficulty, inclusion of hidden collectibles, and I could go on and on. To the Top is one of my favorite games for the PSVR because it is apparent that the developers, Electric Hat Games, loved working on this project. Each level is designed beautifully, and seemingly each landing pad was placed strategically. This platforming action game will give you hours of entertainment, provide you with a perfect mix of action-packed movement while also chilling to the vibes of future islands and Kapyak. I can't describe how impressive the level design is in this game. Not in words, it must be experienced to be fully appreciated. The great thing is that you shouldn't be thankful for To The Top just because it's a great game, but that it reminds us that the PSVR can pack so much in a small package. Farpoint is a fine game all on its own. A decent plot, multiplayer capabilities, good immersion, but what makes Farpoint a PSVR legend is its utilization of the aim controller. This is an absolute game changer. The aim controller works perfectly. It felt great, it was accurate, and honestly, it bettered every single game that incorporated it. But Farpoint was its magnum opus, the perfect combination of close action battling to distant sniping, jump scares to just absolute wonderment, gave players a lasting impression of Farpoint. This PSVR combo is an absolute must-play. Although I am excited beyond measure for the PSVR 2, the one thing that saddens me is that the aim controller will not make the journey to the next generation with us. We can only hope for a similar peripheral, but the love we have for the aim controller is yet another reason to be thankful for the PSVR. When asked what my most underappreciated title is for the PSVR, I always respond with this utter gem. It is a first-person perspective action thriller where the environment around you can only be seen through echolocation. That is, to see what is around you, you have to make noise. This was the first time the player had to make noise within the headset to pave your way to victory. However, the various enemies who search for these echoes as well will hunt you down. It is your job to determine when and how loudly you speak or make noise, and often you need more than just your voice. It's essential to throw rocks, cans, other objects to reach areas you either can't scream to or distract enemies that are on the prowl. This adds an absolutely terrifying twist to an action-packed, plot-driven game like this. I love how the PSVR can create such awe-inspiring visuals, heart-pumping action, and scary crap-yourself horror. No other game I've ever played in my life made me feel the way Stifle did. I give credit to Gadai Games and the PSVR. Superhot VR is a legend, not only on the PSVR, but also all the other VR headsets, and even those flat gamers. In essence, it's just a marvel from start to finish, but in VR, the game is a revolution, a masterpiece. This is a quintessential game to show first-time PSVR players. No one has ever experienced such an interactive and immersive gameplay the first time they put on a headset. The ambiguous mystery that unfolds as the game is played, the quick, dynamic, and thought-evoking gameplay, and the pick-up and play style is perfect for beginners and experts alike. I've played through Superhot so many times I can't count. I've seen people bonk their heads off desks, run into walls, end up crawling on the ground, all to avoid those red glass sons of a gun. It is a supreme example of how the PSVR can make you literally forget that you're playing a video game. You forget about your environment, you forget about the real world, you forget about your problems, you forget about your boundaries. It is total immersion at its best, and because we got to experience this, we should all be thankful. Alright, so you're gonna have to hang with me here. This is a game that I know you didn't see coming. Vertigo Home is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Not always for the right reasons, mind you, but still, it leaves you speechless, baffled, and feeling pretty fulfilled. Vertigo Home resembles what it would feel like if you were stoned while undergoing time travel. Psychedelic colors, laugh-out-loud music, and an assortment of mind-boggling enemies highlight what makes this game special. These features often hide the absolute dreadful and boring gameplay. You just fly through levels on a one-dimensional plane, avoiding random objects. Personally, I didn't actually like the game at all. In fact, I thought it was awful, and to be honest, it's absolutely dreadful. So why is this game even here? Why is it on this list? Because a game this janky, this poor, and just this bad was still a unique, one-of-a-kind experience. And that's because the PSVR, and you could argue VR in general, can take something that isn't great and turn it into something special. In fact, Alex and I still scream, "It's not a toy!" in reference to this game all the time. We still laugh at all the stupid objects you have to avoid and just the absurdity of the game. On a flat TV, this would have just been an awful game with no redeeming qualities. But in VR, you become part of the craziness, and it leaves a lasting impression that is an actual good one. I argue only virtual reality could do this, so I appreciate the PSVR because it can make janky games still feel worth playing when no other device can. So, as Thanksgiving approaches, I am thankful for these games, but furthermore, as the PSVR's life cycle comes to a close, these are some of the games that I hold dear and I will always associate with the PSVR and why it was so great. I would love to hear what games you are most thankful for in the PSVR library.